And action.
Action Jackson.
Did you ever see that movie?
Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
I first of all welcome everybody. Thanks for
Hey,
joining.
welcome to another edition of
Another
special edition, Broken Ribs
special
edition.
edition, broken ribs, broken heads. So Action Jackson,
Yeah.
which
Be honest.
I is one of those movies I saw, but I don't remember anything.
I don't blame you. Now, let me add on to that. I
There are
never
two
saw
movies like
okay.
that: Action Jackson and
Jackson.
Remo Williams. The Adventure Begins. That
I
I,
never,
I that I feel that are both exactly the same and whatever.
I never heard of that movie. Let's focus on Action
Horrible.
Jackson. I never watched the movie growing up. Predator always took the cake for me. Like Carl Weathers was in Predator as like a
Well, I was
sort of
gonna
a
say, was that your favorite Carl? Because I mean, I'll be shamed. I'll shame you if you're gonna tell me that that's your favorite Carl Weathers movie.
no, meaning like Carl Weathers had a little feature in that, but he wasn't no
Yes,
superstar, like But whatever. So Action Jackson came out at some point. I
it was
never
the
saw it.
forefront. Yeah,
A couple months ago, I watched Action Jackson for the first time,
you know you're really scraping at the bottom of the home movie barrel when you start pulling up Action Jackson.
and I gotta say, I know why I never saw it back then. It really wasn't that good. His acting was not that great.
He's not really known as a great actor.
He was
He
not
had some
like
nice biceps. Mr. Brown, you can still shooting away.
the muscle was like
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right there. Yeah, I mean, like, yo, I love that scene in Predator when it was him and Arnold, in
When
the
the whole
tent.
high fives, like
Yeah, that was sick.
You son of a bitch.
Like, I love that part. But Action Jackson, there was action, but there was no Jackson. It was
there's
just
no
action.
Jackson.
It was just action. It
Well,
really
that's
wasn't
the
that great.
same thing with Remo Williams. The Adventure Begins, and the title alone would make you believe that if the adventure begins, there'll probably be a few more adventures down the road. And thank Christ, there weren't any more adventures for Remo. So
Who
he
was
had a
in
big
that movie?
crescendo. Um,
I had never heard of this.
he was a guy from Southern Comfort, which is one of the favorite movies of mine. He played in Southern Comfort, and God,
I don't know that movie either. Maybe we should edit
yeah, there
this
was a few
all out.
people in that, but that's an old movie that as a youngster, me and my brothers used to emulate. We'd go behind our house. We had a little swamp behind our house, and we would play Southern Comfort, where it was these um, uh, National Guard folk that were out on like a weekend training detail and down in Louisiana, and they got like screwed. They got like mixed up with these nasty Cajuns out in the bayou in the backcountry, and like these bad Cajuns were like killing them one by one and whatever. That was a
Sounds
movie, but it was
really exciting.
Remo Williams' Adventure Begins was a horrible movie, never should have been made.
It's
But
horrible.
that being said, if you wasted your time on Action Jackson, why not?
I thought like I mean it's a really good title for a movie. I mean,
That's the best. It was the title of the movie was
the
that
title.
was the peak of it. It was just all downhill from there. Like
It
the guy
really
who
was.
I know the name of the movie. The movie is gonna be called Action Jackson. Like yes, this thing's gonna get better from here. That was the pinnacle of their whole process.
Now
Just
check this out. My brother-in-law's last name is Jackson and he played football and I think his like unofficial or official nickname was Action Jackson, like on the
really.
field. Yes. And you know what? I'm gonna ask him next time I see it. Did you ever watch that movie or did you just like reference the title and use it or like not reference the title and it just came to you? I want to find out the origins of that name. You know what else is funny? That you were literally taken out of commission
Mm.
almost completely last week due to your own animal, your own dog, and a thin layer of ice. I'm not going to say any more. Please regale me and our audience on what I'm even talking about.
I hurt myself on ice. Goodbye.
That was great, folks. Thanks for tuning in. You heard
I'm
yourself.
still in a lot of pain. It's been a week and a day, and I can't sleep on my sides. I have to sleep straight on my back only the whole time.
Just wait, before you jump in the story, if our fans and listeners don't realize, not only has Josh almost cut his finger off in a lawnmower.
Well, they wouldn't know that one because you lost that episode.
I could have sworn I aired that.
No, you aired the earwax one.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a quick synopsis.
Yeah.
Josh almost cut his finger off in a lawnmower. He almost went deaf.
Yeah.
And now he almost broke his freaking ribs.
Yeah.
This guy gets injured all the time here. All right, so tell us the story.
These things happen when you get older, by the way.
Jesus.
You're still a spring chick, so your days are coming, pal.
Thank God. I'm afraid.
So anyways, I've got ice in the back of my house, just the way the drainage is, and like it's a sheer level of ice. And it snowed the night before. So I went out and I used to go out, I could run on the ice, it's no problem. But it snowed the night before. The next night I went out with my dog and I'm throwing things around, playing with her and playing fetch. And I stepped on, I remember looking down, I had my phone in my hand, using the light, using the friggin' light bulb and the flashlight in it because I was looking because it was dark. And I stepped on this thing of snow, and then that went down on some ice, and then immediately both of my feet came out from me, and I slammed on my back and my side, and I shit you not, like when it happened, I heard it crack. Audible crack, and I was immediately, it wasn't like I got knocked out of breath. I was just in.
Oh, you didn't get winded?
No, I just couldn't. It was the worst pain. It was so bad. And I knew something bad happened. So I kind of have to go up a hill to get back to my house because my backyard kind of goes to this little hill. And I'm on my hands and knees crawling up. It probably took me 3 minutes to get up and then back into my house as I'm crawling the whole way. And I
did you like grab the walls? Teresa's like, "What? My God, what's wrong?" You're like,
"Oh my God!" So I got in, and I fall to the ground, and I'm like, and I'm kicking my legs, and she calls 911.
Really?
Yes, and I'm like, "Don't do that."
911. What's your emergency?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
I'm like, yeah, it was, but I'm like, they never do anything for backs. They just say, "Here's some Tylenol. Leave me alone." But it was really bad. And
wait a minute. 911 was dispatched.
They were.
Oh, please, don't. How dare you skip over that part?
What happened?
You know
what? This whole thing's embarrassing. All right.
That's the point of our show. It's to embarrass you.
Embarrassing. Yeah. Thank you.
You do the dumb things like cut your finger off, go deaf, fall on the ice, crack your rib. What happened? The police were there and the paramedics.
No
and
police.
The fire truck.
No, so I think must have been some sort of EMS, like you know how they drive their own vehicles with little lights on them.
Yeah.
So 2 vehicles showed up. One was like an EMS guy, and I think the other was an ambulance because they said, "Do you want to go?" And so at that point I had got myself up and I was in a seated position in a chair. Teresa brought a chair out. I was kind of like hunched over. Oh, and it was weird because even though I fell on my back, I could feel the pain. It kind of had wrapped. This is my left side. It had wrapped around, and I felt the pain all through here and on my side, even though I landed on my back. Jesus. So in and out of chair sucks. So the guy's like, "Yeah, what'd you do?" He looked at my back. He's like, "Okay, does this hurt?" Blah blah blah. He's like, "Let me breathe." And he's like, "Listen, it's up to you. You can come with us now and put you, or you can just drive." He's like, "The only thing you got to be careful of is if you did break a rib, you could have punctured a lung, which So I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, well, what would you do? Yeah. Well, I'm like, what would you do? He's like, I know it's your opinion. He's like, I'd probably just go get an X-ray to figure out. So they leave because I'm like, I'm not going in the friggin' ambulance, because
how come you didn't want to go?
First of all, number one, because I think you need to pay for that. Like and it's like a stupid amount of money.
You know what? I was in an ambulance once. I never got a bill for it. I don't know how, but it was pretty cool to watch the road like this.
Like, so, clear. Stay with us, Adam.
So you didn't want to go.
Didn't want to go. So my lovely wife took me at every pothole. I think she was looking to hit them on purpose because every time we hit a pothole, it was just just the pain was fucking ridiculous. Yeah. So we get to the
Where'd
hospital.
you go? Like, you went to actual hospital? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I went to an
alright.
actual hospital.
So you were just.
And it was the
considered-
first time that I went to this hospital. We have a local hospital that I didn't even know of, but it's in the town next to us, which it's kind of a rundown place, and it's I think like a lot of like people go there to OD, you know, kind of one of those places, you know. So I went there. I can't even like talk, and I'm having a hard time breathing. And I get through the process, and they pull us into a room, and I'm waiting. You know, you go wait, you wait.
Yeah. Were you in a mask and all that?
Oh yeah, oh
The
yeah. I got a
shield?
picture of me and my mask. I'll send that to you. If you
Nice.
want. Go ahead and
I'll
put
post
in
that.
there.
Yep.
Little you know, selfie while I'm in the fucking waiting room. But while we're waiting, like I don't want to get into HIPAA, but some girl was like in a room next door, and I don't know any of the story other than apparently like someone who works at the hospital like took her cell phone away because she started crying. So I think she had some mental health issues, but she
Yeah.
went crazy, dude. And Teresa started crying because she felt so bad, and this girl like screaming like, "I have no one," and she's like swearing, and I'm like,
God, that's a shame.
well, so
That's
yeah,
not funny, ladies and
it's
gentlemen.
not funny.
And then
Stop
you just brought
laughing.
the
I see
whole
you
show
laughing.
down. You
Yeah.
brought the whole show down. Way to go.
Well, I have to give it to you like it was. You need to experience what I did. So, anyways, they're like,
get in
okay, come
there.
back. Like, you want to get in a wheelchair, or am I, you know, or follow me? I'm like, I'll follow you, but it's gonna take me a while. So I'm hunched over. I'm like the elephant man. And I get to the X-ray room, and I take 5 X-rays. And I noticed though they're not most X-rays that you usually get up and close. Like when I had my finger issue, they brought the X-ray down on top of it. Well, this one I'm standing up in front of a board, and the X-ray machine's probably 2 to 3 feet behind me. You know, so I thought that was kind of weird. But anyways, we did that. We go back in the room, and the whole process took by about 2.5 hours, and it was a while.
It's so
And
true.
they come back in and like, yep, you're all set. X-rays are negative. And I would have bet anything that I cracked a rib or broken a rib, because like I said, the sound
heard
of
a
it, plus
noise.
the pain, yeah, like something
Right.
was wrong. I did find out though that X-rays only catch about 75% of broken or cracked ribs. You have to take like an MRI if you want to be 100% positive.
Oh,
But
God.
anyway, she's like, yeah, listen, your bruised ribs. She's like, actually, bruised ribs are in some cases, it almost takes us longer. It's like if you sprain an ankle versus break an ankle, they can go in. There's nothing they can give you other than like, you know, Aleve or Advil or whatever. They don't bind you anymore. She's like, it's gonna be 3 to 6 weeks. And I said, well, how long is the nasty pain gonna be? And she says, it should be about 3 or 4 days. Well, it's been 8 days, and it still sucks. I really think there's a couple of cracked ribs or something.
Okay, all right. Let's stop the press right here, ladies and
Stop the
gentlemen.
press.
Josh just said he thinks there is a cracked rib, but yet it's been 8 days and you have not got a second opinion anywhere.
Well, I don't want to, because here's the thing. Even if there is a cracked rib or a broken rib, nothing they can do.
Not even
What's the point?
broken.
Not even broken.
Hey, do me listen.
If it's displaced, they can do something. But you know,
if
they
it's
would have
broken,
figured that
just
out.
go like this, and it'll come out in your.
Jump up and down, do the hokey pokey, and turn yourself around, because that's what it's all about.
You want to get rid of that rib? That's what you got to do. You're gonna
right.
be short a rib, but no big deal. Yeah, I know.
I'm going to be like Marilyn Manson, who removed his ribs. You heard that whole rumor, right?
No.
You never heard the whole rumor about Marilyn Manson removing his lower rib section?
I heard they're not even needed. It's sort of a.
You know why? The rumor was he removed his rib section.
No, I never even heard about it.
So he can go on his own body. That was the whole rumor.
I think I did hear that.
Of course, it was like one of those.
Did you do that without ribs? I'm interested. Where did he go?
Yeah, I think you'd have to be.
Can you do that in any hospital, or does that have to be a specialist?
I don't know. So anyways.
Hold on a second. Hold on, please.
It's okay. What? Please. Okay. Go ahead. Let's move with one more. One more. We're gonna do these like tree limbs, and we'll move our way up until I can get the sweet spot.
Yeah. If you got to get rid of all of them, fine, but do one at a time, because I might need these things.
And then we'll get rid of my spine, and I'm going to be like a little jellyfish, and I can do it. Yeah. I can go backwards.
I want to slither through a doorway, a door crack.
Oh my God. It just reminded me of another movie which I never watched the movie Human Centipede.
I'm never watching that. You told me about it, and even before you
Oh
told me
my
about it, I
God.
said I'm not watching it. It's too.
I feel
extreme.
dirty that I watched it. I
Too
feel dirty
extreme.
that I watched it. It's too extreme.
Too extreme.
It's I know there are people who dig that sort of stuff, and I can't. I feel sick and gross, and it's like, why did I do that?
If that came out when I was a kid, I more than likely would have watched it, but not as an
Right.
adult. I
But
can't.
though back in the epitome of being a kid, like what was the worst? Like Nightmare on Elm Street? Like what were like some real graphic movies?
One of my most, I thought, the most traumatic horror movie was Mother's Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty intense. I mean, because they had everything. It wasn't just like, horror, like,
Right.
like Friday 13th,
Yeah, it
somebody-
wasn't just blood and guts.
Yeah, there was a lot going on there, and it was pretty freaky, man. It's
Yeah.
a great movie. It's a great movie, but yeah, that was probably the number one for me.
Well, just stay away. Say no to Human Centipede. If any, and I think they actually made a part 2 as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I know, it's so gross. I mean, I saw you know what I saw that was kind of like that?
Thinking
Tourista.
about it now, I'm getting sick.
Yeah, please don't even bring that up again. All right, well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thanks, pal.
I'm looking forward to when your humor comes back, and
Well,
our
me
fans
too.
are as well.
Yes,
And,
I'm sure. Our 12 fans are. So
yeah, and please next time that ice forms in the back of the area where you were in the
yes,
please don't go.
I was
having a
daring it. I was like, "Come on,
catch
Ice. What do you got?
the
What do you got,
snow.
Ice? I'm not afraid of you, Ice." And Ice won.
Wow, you're fucking playing with your dog like a frisbee in the
Trying to be
snow. Oh,
nice,
boy.
going out, giving some exercise, and then crack a lack.
Unbelievable. Well, folks,
Yeah.
this was a recent incident. We like to give you current events here on Broken Heads.
Aaron, breaking.
Josh broke his ribs. We talk about it. It's that simple. And we do it that quick.
Muppet News.
And this will be posted in about 2 months. So
You'll have this in
Thanks
2
a lot.
months if Adam doesn't lose it.
no, don't worry. I got my editing stuff. I got backup.
Yes,
But-
folks, please keep in mind, and I hope you've seen recently, a shout out to Adam because we invested in some new software, and it really allows Adam to fully blossom and show you what his skills are. When it comes to editing, it's all him. He puts all the work in, and he deserves all the praise for all the snips and clips and all the tidbits that he puts in there. So please, folks, if you like what you've been seeing lately with all these cut-ins and quick cuts, let Adam know because he would love to feel some love.
I would. And I wish you had said when it comes to editing, he's the cat's meow.
Hot dogs, when it comes to cooking, I'm the cat's meow.
You are.
I'm telling you guys, when it comes to editing, he's the cat's meow.
Yes.
Yes,
Adam
thank
is
you.
the
And I'm only
cat's
going to get
meow.
better. And yeah, we are investing because we want to try. Maybe you can look back at this and be like, "Wow, these first 20 episodes were like a trial run for these
They were
guys."
horrible.
Like,
They were a train wreck.
yeah, they finally started like stepping into like the real way.
Took
to
them
do
3
it.
years, but they finally got 50 subscribers, and never look back.
Oh, that shit. Exactly.
All right, pal. Well, everybody, we
hey.
love you.
We love you. Stay broken, people.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. Just
Stay
don't break your
funny.
ribs.
Yeah. Hey. Oh. Hey. All right. Peace.